Hi, I'm Phoenix. Today I read Everything That Rises Must Converge by Flannery O'Connor. And earlier in the unit, we read The Good Country People by Flannery O'Connor. And I really liked that story, so I decided to try another one by him. And I'll compare it a little later, and I'll tell you guys what I think about it. So the story starts out where there's this really big, white, plump woman whose blood pressure is way too high. And the doctor says, you're going to have to start working out. You're going to have to start eating healthy or else you're going to die. So because of this, once a week she attends this thing called the Y class, which is basically like a workout class. And her son takes her to this. And her son, for some reason, really despises her. He doesn't like what she stands for. And she wants him to be just like her. And which makes him like her even less. But the thing is that she has done everything for her boy. She has given up her lifestyle and given up her intelligence and given up her, dental and health problems for his to make sure that he's very successful. And so he finishes college, she pays for it, and she does everything she can to get him on the right start. So she's wearing this big purple hat, and her son thinks it looks hideous on her. And she's like, I don't know if I should return this. It was $7.50, and I really just think that I could pay the electric bill with it. I should just return it. And he says, no, Mom, just wear it. So then they're on their way, and they start talking about who they are. And his grandpa was the governor of the state at one time. His other grandpa owned a plantation with 200 slaves. They were very wealthy people, except for now she's a widow. She raised him by herself, and she lives in poverty. But she constantly reminds him, don't forget who you are, where you came from. And he doesn't agree with that because times have changed, there are no more slaves. People aren't prejudiced that much anymore. Blacks are the same as whites. Color doesn't matter. So they get on the bus, and it's full of white people, and she says, finally, we're alone for once. And her son is kind of just cringes and stuff. He doesn't like hearing her be so prejudiced. So then this black guy walks on the bus, and he's thinking, great, I'm going to talk to this black guy and make my mom mad. But the black guy, he ends up not talking to him, ends up kind of ignoring him. So he's thinking, man, I just want to make my mom see that the times have changed. So then this really big, plump black lady gets on the bus, and she has a little kid with him. And he's thinking, the son's thinking, okay, this is great. I'm going to make my mom so mad. So he sits by the big black lady. But instead of his mom getting mad, she actually thinks black kids are really cute. She doesn't really like black adults, but she thinks black kids are cuter than white kids. So she's smiling at this boy and playing with him, and this actually makes the black plump lady mad. And so her son's irritated because he can't get her mad, And so he realizes that the black plump lady is wearing the same purple hat that his mom is. And so he tries to cough and, kind of get her attention. And once she looks back and she notices she's wearing the same hat, this makes them both mad that they're wearing the same hat. Because the black lady is actually a little prejudiced too. And so it's kind of like a mind war now. But instead of trying to win the war with argument, the mom kind of tries to win it with kindness. And so she is like, you know what, I'm going to give a nickel to this little black boy. And her son's like, no, Mom, don't do that. Times have changed. You can't just go and act like they're less than you. And she reaches out and she's like, well, all I have is this shiny penny. And she says, here, little boy, come here and let me give you this brand new penny. And the boy runs up to her, and then the black plump lady gets furious. She's like, who do you think that we are, that we can't make our own money? You will not give my son a penny. And she storms off the bus. And this makes the son furious. He's like, Mom, I told you not to give him that penny. And then she marches off the bus because she's mad, and he follows her. And then he starts saying all these bad things about her and, why that she's good for nothing. And then he points out that the black plump lady looks better in her hat than his mom did. And then the next thing you know, she falls over because she's so mad, and he says, Mom, are you okay? And he rolls her over, and she's dead. Like, she must have had a heart attack because her blood pressure was too high. And then the story ends that he's lived in guilt and sorrow the rest of his life. So I really enjoyed this story because it was really easy to understand, and so was The Good Country People. It was like an easier text for me to understand, but there was like a really good underlying point. In The Good Country People, it was that people aren't always as they seem to be. And in this, it's that times have changed. The old world is gone. When we see people, we don't look at their color. We see them for who they are. And so that was the big underlying point in this story. And so like I said, I really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed The Good Country People. And I think that, I want to continue to read Flannery O'Connor's short stories because I was looking through a few of them and I noticed that they all had that underlying point, but it's easy for me to understand and for any reader to understand. So, thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.